Hello Easy Mathmates! Welcome sa panibago na naman nating lesson for today. Our topic is all about the rational numbers. What is rational number? Rational number is derived from the word ratio, which means quotient. It can be written as a quotient of two integers, a over b, where b is not equal to 0. It can be written in fraction or decimal form. So meaning to say, the rational numbers can be in fraction or in decimal form. Let us discuss first all about the fraction. What is fraction? Fraction is a part of a whole. Let us recall the parts of a fraction. So in here, I have 2/3 or 2 over 3, where 2 is our numerator and 3 is our denominator. The line that separates the numerator and the denominator is what we call the fraction bar. Let us review the different kinds of fraction. There are 3 kinds of fraction. First is the proper fraction. When we say proper fraction, the denominator is bigger than the numerator. For example, 1/4, 2/3, and 3/5. So dito makikita ninyo na yung denominator o yung number sa baba ng fraction bar ay mas malaki kesa sa ating numerator. So kapag ganyan ang case ng fraction, that is what we call a proper fraction. Second kind of fraction is what we call the improper fraction. When we say improper fraction, the numerator is bigger than the denominator. For example, 5/3, 7/4, and 3/2. So in these examples, you can see that the numerator o yung number sa taas ng fraction bar ay mas malaki kaysa sa denominator, sa number sa baba. So kapag ganito ang case ng fraction, this is what we call the improper fraction. And the last is what we call the mixed number. So when we say mixed number, we already have here a whole number and a fraction. So this is a combination of a whole number and a fraction. So for example, we have 2 and 1/2, 3 and 2/5, 5 and 5/7. So those are the different kinds of fractions. So we have proper, improper, and mixed number. We also have what we call the similar fractions and the dissimilar fractions. These are very important when it comes to addition and subtraction of fraction. So alamin natin what is similar fraction and what is dissimilar fraction. So when we say similar fractions, these are the fractions with the same denominator. So from the name itself, similar, pag sinabi natin similar, magkamukha o magkapareho. So ano yung magkapareho sa kanila? So ang magkapareho sa kanila ay ang denominator. So for example, here we have 1/4 and 3/4. So dito sa ating example number 1, ang ating mga fractions ay may magkaparehong denominator which is 4. Kaya sila tinawag na similar fractions. Another example is 3/5 and 2/5. So itong dalawang fraction na to ay similar fractions because they have the same denominator. So when we say dissimilar fractions, from the name itself, dissimilar, so ibig sabihin different. So ano yung different sa kanila? These are the fractions with different denominators. So take note, when we talk about similar and dissimilar fractions, ang titignan lang natin dito ay yung kanilang mga denominators. So kapag magkaibang denominators, these are what we call the dissimilar fractions. For example, 1/3 and 2/5. So magkaibang denominators, kaya sila ay tinawag na dissimilar fractions. We also have 4/5 and 1/2. So 5 and 2 are different numbers, so different denominators yan. Therefore, we call it dissimilar fractions. What are the basics of fractions that you need to remember? So first, we have the simplest form of a fraction o yung tinatawag natin na lowest term. Importante po ito sa fraction kasi we cannot have a final answer which is not in lowest term or in simplest form. So, paano ba natin kukunin ang simplest form of a fraction? So, we have what we call here the GCF or the greatest common factor. So, hanapin natin yung pinakamataas na common factor ng numerator and the denominator. So, for example, number 1, we have here 6 over 10 or 6 tenths. So, sulat natin si 6 at saka si 10. Let us list the factors of 6 and 10. So, ano ba yung mga factors? Ano ba yung factors? Factors are the numbers that we multiply. Okay, for example, 6, which is our numerator. So, what are the factors of 6? So, we have 2 times 3, 1 times 6. So, let us list all the factors in ascending order. So, we have 1, 2, 3, and 6. So, these are the factors of 6. Next is 10. So, ano ba yung mga factors ng 10? Numbers na kapag minultiply natin, it will give us an answer of 10. So, we have 2 times 5 and 1 times 10. So, let us list them in numerical order. So, 1, 2, 5, 10. Now, let us find the GCF, the greatest common factor. So, take a look of the factors that we have listed. Tingnan yung mga nilista nating mga factors. Ano dyan ang magkamukha? Common. Okay, so we have 1 and 2. Okay, now, let us identify the greatest common factor. So, the greatest common factor here is 2. Ang pinakamataas na common factor ng 6 at 10 ay 2. So, that is now our GCF. So, anong gagawin natin sa GCF kapag nakuha na natin siya? We will divide the GCF to the numerator and the denominator. So, in here, let's go back to our example. We have 6 over 10. So, yung 2 na GCF natin, we will divide it with our numerator, which is 6. So, 6 divided by 2. And then, to our denominator, which is 10. So, we will have 10 divided by 2. Okay, 6 divided by 2 is 3 over 10 divided by 2 is 5. So, the simplest form or the lowest term of 6 over 10 is 3 over 5. Let's have the next example. So, our next example is 9 over 21. So, again, we will list the factors of 9 and 21. So, what are the factors of 9? So, we have 3 times 3, 1 times 9. So, let us list all the factors. So, 1, 3, and 9. Since 3 times 3, pareho lang namang 3, we will list it once only. Next is 21. So, we have here 7 times 3 or 3 times 7 and 1 times 21. So, let us list all the factors. So, we have 1, 3, 7, 21. Okay, now let us find the GCF. So, ano yung greatest common factor dito? So, we have 3. So, again, our GCF will be divided to our numerator and the denominator for us to get the simplest form of the given fraction. So, let's go back to our example. Kanina, ang example natin is 9 over 21. So, para makuha natin ang simplest form, we will divide the GCF sa 9 at saka sa 21. So, let us divide our GCF, which is 3. So, 9 divided by 3, that is 3. 21 divided by 3, that is 7. So, the lowest term of 9 over 21 is 3 over 7. Now, let us proceed to changing improper fraction to mixed number. So, again, let us have a recap. When we say improper fraction, these are the fractions where the numerator is greater than the denominator. So, mas malaki yung numerator kaysa sa denominator. When we say mixed number, this is a combination of a whole number and a fraction. So, paano natin gagawing mixed number ang isang improper fraction? So, this is what we are going to do. Divide the numerator by the denominator. So, we will use the long division. Let us have now our first example. So, we have here 9 over 5. In fraction, we cannot have a final answer which is in improper fraction. So, hindi pwede. Gagawin muna natin siyang mixed number para natin masabi final answer na yung fraction na yon. Okay, so let us do it. So in here, we have 9 over 5. That is an improper fraction. Mas malaki yung numerator sa denominator. So paano natin gagawing mixed number? We will divide the numerator by the denominator. So let's have long division here. So 9 divided by 5. So 9 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. 4 divided by 5 is cannot be. Hindi na siya pwede. So we will not go further with this division. We will stop here kasi ang kailangan lang naman natin makuha ay mixed number. So paano natin gagawing mixed number yung mga numbers na nakikita ninyo dito sa ating long division? So remember that our quotient o yung nakuha nating answer, yung number sa taas, that will become our whole number. Yung number sa baba, that will be our numerator. And then, our divisor will be our denominator. So, ibig sabihin, hindi magbabago ang ating denominator. So, ano ang mixed number ng 9 over 5? So, sulat natin yung mga numbers kanina na sinabi ko. So, our whole number is 1. Our numerator is 4. And our denominator is 5. So, the answer is 1 and 4 over 5 or 1 and 4 fifths. Example number 2, we have here 11 over 3. So, again, we will use long division. So, sa loob, we'll have 11. Sa labas ay 3. 11 divided by 3, that is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 11 minus 9 is 2. So, let us write now our mixed number for this improper fraction. So, our whole number is yung nasa taas, which is 3. Our numerator, yung number sa baba, which is 2. And then, our denominator is 3. So, ang sagot po dito sa 11 over 3 is 3 and 2/3. Now, let's proceed to the next one. Changing mixed number to improper fraction, baliktad naman. So, in here, yung mixed number, gagawin naman nating improper fraction. So, meron lang tayong 2 steps na gagawin. Step 1, multiply the denominator by the whole number. Step 2, add the product to the numerator and then copy the denominator. So, let's have our example number 1. So, dito meron tayong 4 and 2/3. So, step 1, sabi dyan, multiply the denominator by the whole number. So, denominator in whole number, multiply. 3 times 4, that will give us 12. Okay, step 2, add the product to the numerator. So, yung sagot natin na 12, i-add daw natin sa numerator. 12 plus 2, that will give us 14. Over, copy the denominator, 3. So, ang sagot ay 14 over 3. Number 2, we have 3 and 1/5. Let us make this an improper fraction. So, step 1 again, multiply the denominator by the whole number. 5 times 3, that will give us 15. Step 2, add 15 to the numerator. So, 15 plus 1, that is 16. Over, copy the denominator, which is 5. 16 over 5. So that's it for this video. See you on the next topic, which is the continuation of the rational number.
Thank you for listening and see you again on our next lesson.